Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. And we begin with an update about the developing story in Louisville, where 2 people are dead after a shooting at a grocery store on the city's east side.
The scene is at the Kroger on Taylorsville Road. That's in the Jeffersontown area. Jacqueline Nye is there, and she joins us live with the latest developments.
Kevin, Nancy, witnesses say they heard 2 bursts of gunfire before seeing 2 men exchange gunfire in the parking lot just a few minutes later. Now, just a little bit ago, police did say that the suspect came into the Kroger and fired multiple shots inside the store, killing 1 man. That suspect then went in the parking lot and fired multiple shots at a woman. That woman has died from her injuries. A man who was in the store when the shooting happened describe the moments he tried to save that woman.
They ushered me out, and I come out, and I'm getting ready to start CPR on this lady, and I looked at her, and I was like, "Look, fella, she's gone. I mean, there's nothing I can do." So I just, like I've said, I just never would have thought this would happen in J-Town. It was literally like the Wild West out here.
The suspect encountered a citizen that was armed. The citizen engaged the suspect with additional gunfire back and forth out here in the parking lot. That gunfire resulted in no injuries. No one else was struck, including the suspect and that citizen.
Now, during that conference, police did tell us that moments after the suspect exchanged gunfire with that random citizen, that he was arrested on the Hurstbourne Parkway. Again, police say a man and a woman have died in that shooting. We are told the ATF and the FBI are here helping police with the investigation, but the shooting appears to be random. We'll have more with you up. We'll keep you updated on air and online, covering the news live in Louisville from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
Well, Kroger released this statement a little more than an hour ago. Quote, "We are shocked and saddened by the shooting that occurred around 2:30 today. Thanks to the quick response of the local police department, the suspect was apprehended and our store is secure. We are cooperating with law enforcement and assisting with their investigation. Our store is closed, but it will reopen after the investigation concludes." End quote. And we'll have much more about this story coming up at 7 on Evening Edition.
President Trump says threats and political violence have no place in America.
The president called on Americans to unify and send that message just hours after a wave of suspicious packages were received at the offices of CNN in New York and several Democratic political figures, including former President Obama and Bill and Hillary Clinton. Speaking at the White House, Mr. Trump said he's extremely unhappy about the development and called the packages despicable. And after a meeting with his top law enforcement advisors, including FBI Director Christopher Wray, the president vowed to bring those responsible to justice.
The full weight of our government is being deployed to conduct this investigation and bring those responsible for these despicable acts to justice.
U.S. Senate Majority Leader and Kentuckian Mitch McConnell released a statement about today's bomb scares. It read, quote, "I stand with all Americans in condemning today's attempted acts of domestic terrorism. As we continue to learn more, Americans are united in gratitude for the first responders, the Secret Service, the Postal Service, and other law enforcement who protect our leaders and public figures from such unconscionable acts." End quote. Those suspicious package scares have worried some people here in Lexington.
While the U.S. Postal Service says they do have screening protocols in place, there's some things you can do to stay safe. LEX 18's Kylan Mills begins our big story team coverage.
While the usual afternoon crowd drops off or picks up mail at the post office on Nandino Boulevard, patrons say they're also closely following the developing national news involving potential explosives found in the mail.
That seems to be the ongoing thing with the political climate right now. Everybody seems to hate each other, and it's unfortunate. It's too bad that it's come to this, that people are actually trying to kill previous officials.
A local USPS spokesperson said in a statement that they use specialized technology, screening protocols, and employee training to keep your mail safe. They also have organized response teams nationwide that investigate suspicious packages.
I just love my mail coming to the post office because they check everything.
They ship many hundreds of packages a month, and I feel safe about it.
The USPS does have some tips for you. They say be careful if you receive mail from an unfamiliar sender or without a return address. And don't open any package with an unusual weight that's lopsided or leaking an unknown substance.
Absolutely. It's always, in the back of our mind, like whenever you open something from someone you don't know, there are crazy people out there.
Covering the news in Lexington, Kylan Mills, LEX 18 News.
Officials with the post office say if you believe you've received suspicious mail, do not open it because mail bombs usually have to be activated by the victim. Instead, call police and the Postal Inspection Service. Well, it's a heated time in American politics, especially around the elections, and both parties are in attack mode trying to make sure their side is heard.
But at what point does the language being used cross the line? LEX 18's Eleanor Buckley has some answers.
It is scary when those attacks turn into real-world consequences.
Hate-driven words turning into real actions. That's exactly what's happening nationally, with several threats being addressed towards Democratic leaders.
I think emotions are high and people are kind of on alert.
And political leaders have to be. Luckily, so far these threats haven't hit here. But the Democratic Party of Kentucky believes if this harsh language is continued, that could change.
I think it's a really scary time for folks when you've got leaders who are using imagery of angry mobs.
But the Republican Party of Kentucky has responded, saying they do try to stay cordial with their wording, at least here in Kentucky.
It's the only way we can stop this sort of action is to make sure that everybody's got friends on every side, and you realize that Republicans aren't bad or Democrats aren't bad, depending on what your viewpoint is.
Midterm elections are just around the corner, and hopefully that will cause tension to go down.
Hopefully this, passes very quickly and we can get back to having cordial conversations about the issues and about things that actually affect people in their everyday lives.
Covering the news in Frankfort, Eleanor Buckley, LEX 18 News.
Stay with LEX 18 after our newscast for the latest about the package investigations on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. We continue our coverage at 7 on Evening Edition.
Ivanka Trump is coming to Kentucky to visit job training centers with Governor Matt Bevin. The White House says Trump will visit 3 training centers in eastern Kentucky Friday. Trump and Bevin are scheduled to tour the Kentucky Advanced Manufacturing Institute in Paintsville, Big Sandy Community and Technical College in Prestonsburg, and Morehead State University.
Chunk of the day today, some high clouds during the latter part of the afternoon. Temperatures a little less than we would like to see for the middle end part of October. We should still be in the 60s. Today we were content with temperatures in the 50s again. 56 in Lexington now at 6 o'clock, 55 Somerset, 55 in Richmond. We also have 53 coming out of Jackson. Max Track Live Doppler, not much going on. We will track some rain in here late tomorrow night. But for tonight, big full moon out there. Enjoy that. Once beyond that, we'll see the clouds begin to increase tomorrow morning. That'll carry us into the afternoon hours tomorrow, but not rain-making clouds yet. That comes late tomorrow night and then especially on Friday. Oh, and the added advantage, it's a cold rain coming. We'll talk about that in a minute.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, the Health Department in Madison County has declared an outbreak of hepatitis A and advises everyone in the county to get vaccinated.
Yeah, this move comes as the number of cases statewide continues to climb, more than 2,000 in Kentucky. And as Mike Valenti explains, more than 20 of those are in Madison County.
The CDC defines an outbreak as the increase in the number of cases of disease in a given area during a specific time period. In Madison County, health officials have seen 15 cases of Hep A in October alone.
This is sort of new territory.
But since the statewide outbreak began last November, health officials here have been bracing for outbreak status, which is why they've been working closely with at-risk populations, like people with substance abuse disorders, in an effort to mitigate the severity of the outbreak.
We're trying to stay on top of this and then get the shots before we do have that outbreak, trying to get ahead of it.
Health department officials will return tomorrow to Madison County Detention Center to administer a second round of vaccines. They were here last month, but since then, an inmate has been quarantined for possibly being exposed to the virus.
184-bed facility, and we have 350-something odd inmates right now. So if we have an outbreak here inside our jail, it's going to be difficult.
Health officials say don't panic. Just be vigilant.
This particular strain of hepatitis A seems to be pretty virulent, meaning that more people are being hospitalized than they might with other strains.
Thacker adds that none of the Hep A cases they've seen are foodborne. Covering the news in Madison County from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
The Anderson News is reporting that the Taco Bell on Bypass South in Lawrenceburg shut its doors today after an employee tested positive for Hep A. The county's director of public health tells the paper the store will be thoroughly cleaned and sanitized, though it's very unlikely any customers will become infected.
A Clark County farmer lost a few dozen bales of hay on his farm when they caught fire yesterday. He says it's a big setback this close to winter, and he believes the fire was set intentionally. Tiffany Jackson has the story.
Dennis Goulman says yesterday this area of his farm was stacked with 34 rolls of hay, but now all that remains is this charred mess. Goulman got a call from a friend yesterday afternoon who noticed the fire, but by the time he got to it, there was nothing left to salvage. Clark County firefighters came to the farm to keep the fire from spreading. The department says the cause of the fire is under investigation, but Goulman says on a clear day like yesterday, he is pretty certain this was no accident. He thinks someone intentionally set the hay on fire. He says he uses the hay for his livestock throughout winter. He was already short on hay this year because the weather has been so rough, and he says this just makes things even worse.
You try to work with the weather and with people destroying it like they did, it puts a big heartache on you. And hay's not easy to come by, and I believe we're going to have a rough winter and it's going to be harder.
And Goulman asks that if anyone knows anything about what happened here on his farm yesterday, they give the sheriff's office a call. Covering the news in Clark County from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom, back to you.
Bluegrass Crime Stoppers is asking for some help to find the most wanted person of the week. 20-year-old Carlos Lamar is wanted for burglary and assault. He's 5'8", 140 pounds. If you know where to find him, call the Crime Stoppers hotline, 859-253-2020, or text your information to Crimes, and in that text, write LEX PD and then your anonymous tip.
From Cinderella to Rapunzel, a Lexington father has been customizing costumes for his daughter for the past 6 years.
And this year he has a great reason to outdo himself again. How he's making a difference in his daughter's life is next on LEX 18 News at 6.